And I'm gonna, hello, hello. Um, I am going to try and share my screen with one participant. Okay, so I think, wait, oh, perfect. Okay. Hello, welcome to case study 7713. Um, I am your presenter, Maya Wright, and let's get started. So, background information on this case study, working with a 5-year-old little boy named Blake. He was diagnosed with autism, and some of the behaviors that he engages in are tantrums, disruptions, and aggression. The aggression, which is going to be our target behavior for production, is typically towards his two younger siblings. It's also been shown towards his parents or been geared towards his parents, but mostly the younger siblings. Blake attended kindergarten at a public school before his parents learned that his teacher could no longer keep other students safe due to his aggressions. This is when Blake's parents found out about ABA services, and that's how they were referred. This is Blake's first experience with ABA, and informed consent was provided to the parents through consent documents and in-person meetings. And I just wanted to highlight some parts of the ethics code that were relevant to this. So 1.01 is being truthful, and that's basically just being truthful with everything in the programs, with all of the up and downs that will come or that can possibly come with Blake's programming and with certain protocols that need to be put in place. Just being 100% truthful in everything and making sure they are fully aware of every aspect of Blake's treatment plan. 2.11 is obtaining informed consent. So, like previously stated, parents receive consent documents and in-person meetings to get their informed consent obtained. And then 2.08 just talks about communication about services, which kind of goes into informed consent as well. So communicating how much of their time they're going to be using, communicating if Blake will be in distress from these things or not, communicating all things that Blake will be experiencing within ABA with his technicians. Just that thorough communication that keeps us all on the same page, that keeps the parents comfortable, and that keeps things running smoothly. Also want to talk about the Capella Compassion Code and just highlight a part of it that says obtain consent and assent for an assessment intervention with sensitivity to comprehension level, cultural and linguistic factors, fears and concerns, and other possible sources of pressure. So just keeping a very, very clear communication with the parents or caregivers about exactly what's going on, exactly how it can affect them, if these if our programs and interventions can fit into their lives, and if they have any fears and concerns, just making all of that clear across the board. Next, we're going to talk about Blake's target's behavior and the definition. So the target behavior for reduction is aggression. Aggression is defined as attempts or successes at pinching, grabbing, pushing, hitting, scratching, hitting his body or head against another person, or kicking others. Examples include hitting, kicking, punching, or headbutting. And then non-examples include if Blake is playing tag with another person or peer, kicking or pushing an object that is intended to be kicked or pushed, any physical force without the intention of causing damage. So for social significance, I think it's very, very important for aggression to be a target behavior. For reduction, because if left untreated, this behavior could impact Blake's ability to maintain valuable relationships, to learn new skills, and it could leave him with only a limited amount of independence. If Blake is learning something and or he's sitting at a table and he's ready to be all done, I think it's important for him to be able to communicate that I'm all done rather than aggressing towards his staff. Or if he needs something and a peer is in front of that thing, or a friend or a peer is playing with something that he wants, it's important for him to be able to say, I want that, or I want to turn, or move, please, opposed to aggressing towards his fellow peers. Functional communication training would aim to get Blake's wants and needs met without him having to engage in aggression to get what he wants. I think that this would help him with maintaining valuable relationships in his life. It would help him with learning new communication skills, and it would overall give him a larger amount of independence. Checking back in with the Capella Compassion Code, there's just an important part to highlight, which is to assess social validity continuously during and following assessment and interventions. As I stated above, I think that the social validity is there when we're talking about reducing his aggression because it relates to his relationships. When he gets older, it could relate to, it could be a thing of um, getting in trouble with the police or something if he does the wrong thing or causes a threat somewhere because he couldn't communicate something. Moving on to what's the function. The function of Blake's aggression is escape or avoidance and access to tangible items. The assessment used to confirm the function was ABC continuous recording data. So we were doing a lot of looking at the antecedents and the consequences following the behavior, and making those patterns and being able to see what was causing them. The experimental analysis used was the functional analysis of precursors. This experimental analysis was used because kind of getting that FCT in before we see Blake engage in the behaviors would be what prevents him engaging in the behaviors. So instead of just going up to a peer, seeing that they have something that he wants, and then hitting them or kicking them, he would be able to use his functional communication so that he wouldn't have to engage in that aggressive behavior. So FCT, functional communication, would be the replacement behavior. The function was confirmed by analyzing antecedents and consequences across multiple sessions. As previously stated, now we are going to discuss the outcome criteria. So the outcome criteria is for Blake to be able to vocal verbally communicate his wants and needs with others around him. He does not need a tablet. He can speak, and that's why I said vocal verbally. The current goal is to completely eliminate this behavior. It's not going to serve Blake socially in any kind of way. It's not going to serve him academically in any kind of way. So we want to eliminate it completely. And then again, like I said, before, the replacement behavior includes FCT, which is functional communicational training, because we want to get Blake to say his wants and needs to his peers, to his parents, to his therapist, and to anyone else versus aggressing towards them to get what he wants or what he needs. Thank you so much for listening. Here are my references. Sorry, and that is my timer.